Hello, friends. My name is Kathleen Whitehead, and I'm here with Carter. We've been following his journey, and it's been a little while. Lots of changes in the world and lots of energetic things, but it's been a little while. We've probably both had a couple of bouts of illness and life events happening, and a few storms. And and whatever. It's that's the way the world is. But I want to welcome Carter back and welcome all of you who might be here at this juncture, and we will catch up with Carter and see how things are going. Welcome, Carter.
Hello.
So, starting out, tell us anything you want to tell us.
Well, I haven't had anyone visit me or anything like that. But I have recently kind of been able to uh it's not like telling the future, but sometimes I can tell what like someone's gonna say next, or like if uh I can I can like predict things a little bit with more accuracy now, which I've never really been able to do. Um, uh, like uh, like at a hockey game that I went to a few months ago, they had like the thing on the screen, and it's like some interactive thing like for the audience to do while they do all the Zamboni stuff. Um, and it's like find the ball under the cup, and it was moving around and everything. I didn't even like look at it, but like I was like, oh, it's gonna be the third one on the right, and then there it was. I was like, oh, okay. Um, and before you said juncture earlier, I could tell you were going to say that right before you were going to say it. Because I don't know if it's just following like language patterns, but like but like I was like, she's gonna say juncture, and I was like juncture, and so that was pretty fun. Um, and but another thing that's been kind of odd is that there were, I think, three celebrities that like passed away this month. And right before each one, the night before, I would have like a dream about like somebody dying, or like just death in general. And like I'd wake up and then it was like, oh, Robert Duvall passed, or I think James Vanderbeek.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I
yeah.
was surprised at that. Sorry to, it,
Oh no, you're
that
fine.
he's very young. He's very
Yeah.
young. Yeah. Robert Duvall, had long life, no, but anyway.
Yeah.
So, do you remember who the third one is? I don't remember who else passed.
I thought it was somebody in the music industry, but I I don't really remember the name, but I think it's music industry.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, those have kind of been the only new things really. Um, uh, but yeah, it's just more dreams and predicting things.
Well,
uh,
that's good. That's what that is your gifts are enhancing, they're growing, expanding, whatever you want to call it. And I that is um what is supposed to happen in these current energies and astrologies and so forth. The word juncture, that was not my intended word.
okay.
It was, in effect, I started to say, my mind was saying, anybody else who's listening now, who's with us now. But of course, then I thought, oh, we're recording. Nobody, it's just us. And so that word came out. So I think what that is, and maybe some of the other things that you're experiencing is the increase in telepathy.
Okay.
and but it's all kind of together. So I have been trying to work on telepathy, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I know it works, sometimes it's working and I don't know it works. Um, my channeling and my mediumship, all of that is telepathy. So, so it, it's kind of hard for my human brain to make the jump of telepathy and mediumship and channeling and all of those kinds of things. Um, but there've been there's a lot of growth and a lot of changes. Have you felt all of the extreme energies in any way?
Um, I think it's been a lot of back and neck pain, honestly.
Yeah.
We were supposed to record yesterday morning, and 10 or 15 minutes before we were supposed to, it just felt like a big hand went on the back of my neck and just like grabbed. And I was like, okay. And it was pretty incapacitating, actually. And I uh yes, I think a lot of it is just kind of uh I like feel very like foggy almost most of the time. So I think that's kind of how it's manifesting with me.
The energies are beneficial. They're coming in waves. I have had like this one kind of muscle in my neck has been very sensitive. Both my upper arms, which are my left arm has always been sensitive to energies, but both of my arms have been very, very sensitive. So I know that it's stronger, more concentrated, and fatigue. And sometimes I'm so tired. I have a list of things I want to do, but I cannot make myself do it. But my that's my body saying, okay, you just got zapped a lot, so rest for a minute.
Right, yeah.
Um, and I have had well, last night the troops were really, really noisy, several different noises. And one really interesting noise that I've heard before, it was like if you've ever heard of a light bulb, an old-fashioned light bulb that pops when it
Mm,
burns out.
yeah.
And so that came from a place in space, not against a wall, not in a corner, a place just in the middle of the room, kind of high up. No light bulb anywhere, but that was the sound. And I thought that was interesting. I have an
Mm.
idea of what that was, but then somebody makes a noise of dropping something on wood in my bedroom, which is carpeted. So
Mm.
that sound should not happen.
Right, yeah.
And then I think it was about 5:30 this morning. I heard a moaning noise and it woke me up and I just thought, okay, that is enough. And I moved I just got up and came into the living room. I
Oh,
did fall asleep in my recliner, but I thought that, I'm not sticking around in a room where somebody's moaning. I'm just not.
yeah.
Um,
I mean,
so that has happened. There's been some interesting nudges, and I'm going to tell about them, but because I think maybe you've had some nudges too. We had a big snowstorm, January 25th, I think it was.
yeah.
I ended up with 18 inches of snow on my deck. So it was a respectable snowfall. And before it came, I was watching, I knew it was going to be a significant amount of snow. So I thought, well, I'm going to straighten my storage closet in the second bedroom. Start straightening it, and I knew it was there, but I decided for the first time since probably 2020, I was just going to look at all the papers I have where I have collected writings. I opened that drawer and I got the message. It is time to write the book. S okay, I am having a pain that I don't know what it is. It's a catch in my chest around my heart. It is not a heart attack. I'm going to ask that whoever is doing that quit. And if there's something I need to know, do you have any idea who that might be?
Well, um, maybe a relative of mine that because he had a saying to write your own story. That was a big saying of his.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Um, so that may tie in with the write your own book thing.
It
Um,
was it was not there before I started talking about opening up the drawer and looking at those papers.
okay. So I
And
think
it's gone now.
okay.
Mostly gone.
So I think that was my grandfather's dad. Yeah, that.
Well, I will tell you that I was given the title, and it is my own story. It's called Four Lifetimes in One Life,
Hmm.
because I was a child, and then I was a wife, then I was a divorced woman in transition looking for herself. And then when I found myself, I'm a mystic. So that each it's compartmentalized in those four places. And while I was thinking about all that and reorganizing, I have two reams of paper that are things I have written before.
Hmm.
So I have to organize it because I've never had a structure before. Um, but they gave me three more titles. And I thought, okay, let me get through this one first. But so that happened, and that I have been writing since 2013, as far as plus I have probably 10 journals
Mm.
that I wrote during those 10 years. So, or well, during, uh, yeah, the third life. And it was actually the fourth life, but I've got that to do. But the other thing too, I've been urged to be more public.
Mm.
And one of the things that's been on my mind is that the people around here in this apartment complex only know that I have a sign on my car that says I'm a medium, a channel, and a mentor. And they don't even know what that is. And I have been told that it's time for me to let them know who I am and what all that means. And so I started that process on Friday. I invited a couple of people, and they gave me a door because the two ladies came to my door for a particular reason. They were distributing some food,
Hmm.
and one of them was not feeling good. And I said to her at one point, is there anything I can do for you? And she looked at me and she says, is there anything you can do for me? And I said, well, I do channel some energies. And she said, well, I haven't slept well and all this other stuff. So I channeled a little energy, and she texted me the next day and said she slept like a baby.
Oh wow.
And I said, well, I want to introduce myself. So come for tea on Friday. And now they have suggested that other people might like to experience this. And so they're going to invite people. So they're going to be my helpers. They're going to introduce me.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I will tell you also some of the revelations about um, spiritual leaders who have fallen from grace in the last couple weeks. Um, Broke my heart, first of all, but it
Hmm.
also scared me in a way because I don't ever want to be that person that whose ego takes over, and that is the motivation.
Yeah.
So thinking about going out in public and maybe having people be interested in finding out things about me, but I have asked my team, and I made a deal. I said, if I ever get that way, I want you to just take away every gift I have.
Hmm.
I don't want to, that's not because I don't want to be that. I want to have integrity, honesty, and love. And that's it. So anyway, that's that's most of what's happened in the last couple weeks. So do you feel like you've gotten any nudges?
Um, yeah, I think so. I've had since I'm still kind of like looking for a job, one of my friends kind of out of nowhere texted me and said, "Hey, there is a like a custom parts seller on Instagram that's looking for painters, and I paint a lot." Um, and I messaged the guy, and now I have kind of a side gig of painting stuff for him for money. So that's kind of cool. Um,
So is this artistic painting? Is that what you're talking about?
I get, yeah, I think so in a way. He sells like custom Lego stuff, and like
Oh,
I'll
cool. Yeah. Yeah, I would call that artistic. So it's tapping into your creative side.
yeah, and which is pretty fun. I'm currently doing an order right now, and I have to have those finished, I think, at the latest by tomorrow evening. But I'll probably be done with it like tonight, so that's pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
and uh, other any other nudges? Um,
Well, let me just ask you about your painting gig. When you are painting like that,
mhm.
do you feel like you get into the zone?
Yeah, I have to get to that point though, I have to be in like a certain like mood or certain like thing. And so like I'll get headphones and I'll like block kind of like everything and like I'll listen to something. And then once I get to something that I'll actually listen to, because sometimes it takes me like 20 minutes to find something to listen to, and then like and that's the whole process. But once I find that, once I kind of just start getting into it, I slowly get into like a flow state, and then um, it gets easier after that. So it's pretty therapeutic sometimes, but when although sometimes when I mess up, it gets untherapeutic, and it's like It's like, why did I ever do this? But then I kind of lock in and fix it, and it's like, yeah, all right, I'm back. So,
I believe that artistic endeavors, especially when you have to kind of get yourself into a place, a
mhm,
zone, or a Zen place, or whatever you want to call it, is a form of channeling.
mhm,
And I know that before I knew anything about metaphysics, I was I was a dancer. And when I danced, I was definitely in a zone. It was and people came up to me and wanted me to teach them how to do it. And it's like, I don't have any idea how I'm doing this. I'm just dancing. It's not like a formula or something, although I did end up learning ballroom dance.
mhm.
But it's I think also you're getting into your Zen place is a form of meditation. And so, and I tell you this because and I'm just basically say a lot of people think this is how you meditate. You have to, you know, pay attention to your breathing and do this and do that and sit in a certain way. And I just don't believe that. I believe that you can meditate in just about any way. And when you have a conscious effort to prepare yourself to open up to be artistic, if that's not channeling, I don't know what is.
Exactly, because like when you get into that state, you kind of feel like out of body, like
Yeah.
too. Like it just stuff just kind of starts happening, and it's kind of like a train on rails. You just kind of keep going with like the locomotion, but then you're also just in body, but it's just so like calming and relieving that it feels like ethereal.
You're
And
connected.
yeah, and yeah, I totally believe in that. Yeah.
So, have you ever, I mean, you have a job that has a structure and somebody's requesting a certain thing for you to produce. Do you ever just paint for yourself, get in that place and see what comes out?
Yeah, I paint like little miniatures and stuff. I do. I also like paint action figures and stuff if I want to customize something, or uh, sometimes I'll draw, but that's kind of rare. um, in a lot of YouTube tutorials, but I do like drawing. I think it's fun. But painting miniatures is one of my um, or it's more my forte. Um, and other than painting, I do a lot of music stuff. Um, and I think those are kind of my two main things. I would say video games, but like I think for me that's more of a distraction rather than like a getting in like a flow state kind of thing. Um, but
Well, what is a distraction? And a distraction is occupying your one part of your brain so that the other part can go float away and do different things.
yeah.
So, so and it's like television or I used to watch a lot of Hallmark movies,
hmm
and that was kind of that occupied the attention while other things were happening. And we don't have to know what those other things are, but I believe that we are in such an expansive that we have the capacity to expand so much further than we can even imagine.
hmm
But sometimes we have to give our brain space to do that. give our body or occupy the brain so that our soul can do whatever it needs to do, or spirit, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And like in the dream state, so what else is new? Anything else?
Um, um, hmm.
You have any questions from me?
I don't think so. I really haven't had a lot happen, really. Which is other than the stuff I talked about earlier, but but yeah, like spiritual visits, just like I like in a communicating way down a lot. Um, but dreams and kind of and like the predicting stuff earlier, that's had like a huge increase in the past like 5 or 6 months. Um, and I guess because of that, I haven't been like sleeping real well. But but yeah, that's kind of all with me really. Um,
Well, the thing is that's quite a bit actually. And for me, I've been kind of what I would call in a rest state, in a almost in a cave or a cocoon or something like that, because things are popping, things are growing, and we really need our all of our physical energy to keep up with all the metaphysical energy. And so while it doesn't feel like much is going on for you, whole lot's going on, uh, because you're really probably not even noticing all of it. Uh,
yeah,
and I think what I would suggest is that you really become aware of very tiny little details. So, if you're driving along and you see a sign and something made you look that way, pay attention to what it is that drew your eye before your eye moved. So a lot of times there will be a bird out on my deck, and I don't even know why I turn my head to go to look at it. But then there's some beautiful bird. Like this morning, it was a bluebird, and I haven't seen a bluebird for a few weeks. And but I feel like those are all synchronicities and things that we're meant to notice and be grateful for.
yeah,
So turn up the volume on your awareness and your noticing.
okay,
Um, and turn up the volume on what your brain is doing, what ideas you come into your head while you're doing your painting.
okay,
And if any kind of odd thought, write it down. Just um, your relative that just came in. How long has it been since you've had contact with him?
probably um maybe almost a year. I th maybe 8 months. I
Well,
think
that's a significant amount of time.
yeah.
But it was definite because I have not had that catch in my in, uh, lungs, heart. I'm not sure, but there was a catch that arrived at that moment, and that was his way of connecting with you
Yeah.
because it reminded you of the thing that he used to say.
Yeah, and he usually kind of comes through like that when I've kind of gotten stuck in life and like I need to move forward with something. He'll come through and like and say, write your book, write your story, like kind of like as a you need to kind of lock in on life a little bit and get
You,
in there.
are you are
Um,
you supposed to write a book?
um, no, I don't.
Not yet.
Well, I've had I've had like thoughts of writing a book recently because I've been watching like the Night of the Seven Kingdoms and Game of Thrones and stuff and and like I really yeah and like I kind of want to write my own book that's not like in that universe but like just kind of my own thing. So I've kind of had like thoughts about that. Um, yeah.
So, and I was told from the beginning of me learning that I might have anything to do with metaphysical stuff. I was told by every reader, you got to write a book. You're going to write a book. And I started and stopped and started and stopped and started. And it was never, I never had the outline. I never had the idea that solidified it until it was it was like snapping a finger. Okay, there it is. And I've started it. The other day I was telling a friend that I was having a struggle with coming up with some happy memories from childhood.
Mm,
And that's another story. And I do not want my book to be a sob story, a tragic story, anything like that. That's not the purpose of it. What I want it to be is, okay, this is how I lived here. This is how I lived here. This is what I lived here. But I've studied myself. I've studied my youth and my marriage ever since I was 50. Uh, because that was when I woke up the next morning and realized I didn't know who I was. So, so I've done a lot of in-depth study from the beginning,
hmm
and I have memories from the womb, and and so I just said I'm struggling with finding memories, and then I memories started coming. And it's like now I have a list of 30 little outline things that remember this, remember that, Halloween, German measles, just different things that happened that I'd forgotten about that are not dark. There might be a little darkness, but everybody has darkness, and that's part of it too.
yeah.
But so it was almost like, okay, you need some memories. Here you go. Ding, 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 ding. And I just kept writing and till I had a whole bunch of them. I have notes on my phone and I just started a note. And I have the subjects. Um, the biggest thing will be when I start in rewriting all the things that I've already written and pare down from all the stuff that I have already written. Um, Nobody wants to read a book that's comprised of two reams of paper.
Right.
Nobody wants to read a book that is about one person that is that long. So, but and they just told me that's why there are four books. No pressure there. Thanks. So, have you, other than your precognition, your being able to predict things? By the way, do you have anything that that you feel like is going to happen?
Um,
Any size, tiny,
I
big?
I keep getting like stock market, but like
Um,
that's about it. But but for me, with that like experience though, it's I kind of like have to see something happening, and then I can kind of predict how it's gonna end, or like how, like if someone's gonna say something, or I kind of have to like see it in motion before, um, before that. But if it's something that I like can't see, like the stock market, um, I guess I could see it, but yeah, like it would like those usually kind of come to me in dreams. But I did keep getting stock market after you asked that, so I don't know. I think it's probably gonna crash in the next month, but that's
okay.
that's kind of about
Well,
that.
I think that I have no interest in the stock market, but
Oh, me
I
neither.
also, huh?
Oh, me neither.
Yeah, I know. I also don't really care that much about, I live abundantly without money. You know, money is not the thing that keeps me abundant.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I do feel like there's definitely going to be some times in the very near future where it will be difficult for those who um, depend on money and they feel lack if they don't have enough. If they, but I do feel like that, and that's part of this process because we're beginning again. I don't know. Do you follow astrology at all?
Not really, no. Um,
Well, on the 20th, there was an alignment of Saturn and Neptune. It's zero of Aries, Aries being the first sign of the zodiac, zero being the first degree of the first sign of the zodiac. Saturn is about discipline and rules and so forth. Neptune is more dreamy. On the 20th, both those planets met in Aries at 0 degrees in Aries, which has not happened for at least 6,000 years.
hmm,
But
interesting.
when those two planets come together, uh, the Saturn and Neptune, big things tend to happen. Like, for instance, the Berlin Wall came down during that conjunction, not at 0 degrees, but during that meeting of those two planets.
Yeah.
So to me, I find, and it doesn't happen on that day. You can't say at noon on that day that's going to happen. And I believe that the things that have happened to me that are like writing the book. I'm 77 years old, and finally it's time.
Yeah.
Um, Coming out into the public, that is different for me. There so many things have just like that's different. In addition, like when I when the snow came after the snow stopped, this apartment complex suffered some some damage because of ice in the gutters, and then ceilings leaked. Well, mine was one of the lucky ceilings that leaked. And so they brought in fans and dehumidifiers. and the noise was so bad I had to move into my second bedroom, which was the furthest away from the noise.
Hmm.
So I um, moved in here, put the television in here, and all that kind of stuff. And what happened, what evolved from that is that caused me to move everything into this room, which gave me a craft room, a studio room, a writing room. So I now am set up to do everything that I need to do to facilitate my metaphysical life and especially my writing.
Yeah.
Uh, so, it took an 18-inch snowstorm, but that did that. And I feel like all of those different pieces are part of the restart.
Yeah.
So, and you're experiencing that too. You're just from a different perspective, younger, much younger, what, a fourth my age or something like that. But
I definitely feel old sometimes.
well, you're probably an old soul.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I generally like like I was with my like grandfather like a year ago, and we went and visited his brothers, and they had some friends over, and I vibed with them. Like I was like more comfortable with like them than like even like some of my own friends, and I'm comfortable around my friends, but it was just like I felt, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's just like a, and like I make a lot of like old references to stuff, so like I like when people get my stuff. but but uh yeah, like I've always had like a better time like conversing with older people. And I think um I think that's pretty cool.
And
Um
I do too. I do too. It's a classmate. It's been probably just, I don't know, at one of the reunions, which I haven't been to one for a long time. But she said to me and I grew up with her. She said, "You always did look old. When in second grade, your face looked so old." I prefer to think she was thinking wise, but
right.
but yeah, I probably had my old soul showing on my face, so what do you want to, anything you want to talk about in our little, anything you want to share with our millions of followers?
Well, um I think um um
How about, here's something. I think we should let people know to have patience and to trust the process and always recognize that we are here and learning these things and experiencing things because we've chosen to, but for the benefit of the whole, because we are having an individual experience, but we are part of the one. And so that's that's what I'm reading that you were about to say.
yeah, I'd say it's, yeah, yeah,
Trust. And the most important thing is loving each other, is being
exactly.
love. So, well, you have any predictions for us other than the stock market? Do you have any predictions specifically for me
Um,
or messages or any of that?
uh, that you will get your book done, um, probably by the end of the year. Um,
Good, that's my goal.
and yeah, I think that's kind of my last
Good.
one
That's good. Do you want to try to connect with any of my relatives?
there. Mm,
Here's how I start out when I'm doing a mediumship reading, and I realize I'm putting you on the spot, but I always ask the client, uh, if there's anybody you want to speak to, ask them to identify themselves through me, which is you,
mhm.
without telling me who they are. So I'm going to ask for a particular person to come through, and then you can see whether or not you have a message.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know a Jane?
I do know a Jane, but that's not who I ask. There is a J in the name.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of all I'm getting is the J uh um part.
Okay. Uh, how about if I give you her name?
Okay.
Vera Jewel.
Um I keep getting high, like saying hi. Um
Is it a happy high,
yeah.
a
Like
loving high,
yeah, like high pitched. Um if that kind of makes sense with her.
yeah, well, it does make sense because actually I could feel her. It's my mother.
Okay.
And we, the day of her funeral, she came to me as pure love.
Mm-hmm.
And our lifetime had not felt that same way. But it was like the day of her funeral when she came to me and I felt her. It was like, okay. And it was absolutely everything was perfect. So
Okay. Um I keep getting the word burnt.
burnt.
Yeah. If that kind of means anything.
Not yet, but that doesn't mean that it won't.
Uh and the word
Out,
house,
out. Okay.
like and the word house came after that.
Okay.
Or
Well, I
house.
just mentioned not too long ago uh, that we had a small fire in our house.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. And when you said burnt, that did come to my mind. But I just thought, well, that's yeah, I should not have made the judgment. But it was like, that's way out there. But then when you said house, that brought the two of them together.
Okay.
It was a very small, it was terrifying for a little girl, but uh,
Yeah.
but it was not, and we didn't have much damage or anything like that. So we were very, very lucky.
That's good because I just got the word all right.
Yeah.
After that, yeah. Um, Yeah, I keep like those messages keep getting like it's almost like text messages. Like I'll get one word and then like something else tries to come in for a little bit and then it will kind of
Okay.
kind of like those little like I guess Tesla towers like just and then when it gets to the top that's when I get something and then it has to like recharge and go back down and keep going back. It kind of feels like that. Uh,
Interesting. Well, I think that you will hone that
mhm.
if that is indeed what you are supposed to do. And I have asked for, I kind of haven't done a lot of mediumship. I've done a few other things, but I haven't done a lot of mediumship and I've kind of broadcast it out there. I'd like to kind of get back into that and experience that again because that's a really real healing thing for everybody concerned. But I have done more communication with ETs and stuff, and just I have a little bit of a weird life, but that's okay. Given that I was an accountant for 42 years, it seems weird from this side, but anyway, is there anything else you would like to accomplish with this meeting? We've been on here actually almost an hour,
Oh wow, yeah. Oh,
so that goes fast, doesn't it?
it does.
So,
Um,
okay, well, unless you have something else you want to share, I think we'll end it because I don't like to have really long things on YouTube, you know.
yeah.
So,
I will say, do you know a Mark?
Mark,
Yeah.
not that I can remember.
Okay. I don't know if it's a name or just like some like making a mark or something. Um,
Uh,
but that
okay.
I kept getting that but like 10 seconds ago. Um, but I think I know, but I don't think it was for you. I think it was for me, and I think I know who said that. But I think that's kind of
Well,
um
make my mark does resonate for me.
yeah.
So it could, and it, a lot of times messages are for more than one person.
Okay.
In fact, when you see the TV mediums, they will often say that, wow, it's a message for one person, another person it might resonate too. So it can always be for more than one person. Um, but we should each take what resonates either way.
Yeah.
So my knees are saying it's been an hour and you haven't moved. Okay, well, I'm going to end this with my deep gratitude for you, and I'll stop the recording, and then we will hopefully meet a little more often than it has been in the last few months, but it's been that kind of a time.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you, everybody who finds this at any given time. Uh, we love you and appreciate your being with us.